Review zone, yeah! Review zone, yeah!
Hi.
Oh, excuse me.
It's okay.
So, what movie did we see today?
We saw a Swedish film. It was
What
called,
Swedish film did we
but
see?
it has a French title. It's very strange.
That's right.
A French
What was the
title
name?
called
Force
Force
Majeure,
Majeure.
yay! What's the matter? Did you like this movie or no?
What?
Did you like it? Did you like it? Tell me.
It was just.
I didn't very invested in your answers. You better tell me. Did you like it or no? Just tell me.
It was okay.
Just okay.
Yeah, I wasn't really kind of crazy about it. Were you crazy about it?
I felt crazy watching it. And the tension, the marital back and forth, the children, the poor weeping children. The subtitles were terrible in this movie. It was just cop out. And I assumed they were saying very important things, but I can't speak Swedish, so I didn't know.
Yeah, and we had to like just guess at the gaps. Like we had to figure out what they were saying. Like, and we didn't know Swedish.
The only Swedish word I knew was iPhone. When he said iPhone, and that was it.
Yeah.
It was really
I
traumatized.
remember that from The Farmer's Daughter. Like there was this old TV show where the Swedish girl was on it, and
She
she'd always
said
say
iPhone.
yeah.
This is back in the 60s.
Yeah, she'd say yeah.
I wish I had an iPhone in the 60s. I bet this only costs like $300 bazillion.
The Swedish mountains in this movie were really amazingly beautiful.
Yes, the aesthetic in this film was beautiful. Everything, the composition of the shots, even the movement of the camera in relation to the movement of the Swedish zigzagging skiers moving down the mountainside.
Yeah, and the characters were kind of interesting. I mean, they were like...
The characters were realistic.
Well, let's talk about the main scene. Okay.
Yeah, the whole precipitating moment,
Yeah.
if you will, is when a supposedly controlled avalanche gets out of control, and it's revealed that the father runs away from his family instead of protecting them as a dutiful father should.
Yeah, and it's like, and he goes into denial about it. He
Yep.
can't accept that he did that.
He's got cognitive dissonance about the whole affair.
And his poor wife, she's like drinking a lot of wine and saying, "But you
So
ran
much
away."
wine.
Yeah, she's always like drinking and saying, "You ran away," in front of their friends, and their friends are trying to help them. They've got really good friends. Like this one guy who looks like Thor.
He's a Viking.
Yeah,
He's
with the red.
straight up a Viking.
Yeah, and he was just really helpful. And he even told him to do, primal therapy where you scream.
I don't think he was. He was somewhat helpful. Everyone was beautiful in it. Everyone looked like they were out of a Swedish catalog.
Yeah.
The children were beautiful. The parents were beautiful. The Viking friend was beautiful. His 20-year-old girlfriend was beautiful. Everything was beautiful. The whole movie was beautiful. What? Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, so are we gonna tell people to go out and see this one, or what do you think?
Good question. I really enjoyed it. I felt like it got to the nitty-gritty of
What?
the family dynamic, but I don't want to say any more until the spoilers out. Let's just do the spoilers out. No, but first, you give your opinion of it.
Like I said, I'm really mixed because I was sort of it was so strange. It was hard to process. I don't know.
Maybe you should process it before doing a review of it.
Well, it's just so I feel like I'm out in the snow thinking about the Swedes.
Are you going to recommend it or not? That's our old job. Come on.
Oh yeah,
One or the other.
okay. Yeah, okay. I think people should see it. Yeah, it's definitely worth seeing. Definitely.
You going to tell them why?
Because it has to do with some really deep human emotions that are kind of universal, even though it's happening to like a catalog family.
All right.
Yeah. So
All right. We talked about ski zones. You ready to go to the spoiler zone?
Yes, spoilers.
All right.
Spoilers. Okay.
I feel like the whole first shot in the movie, or scene / shots, is just only one shot, one scene, is there's a man who forces the family, a tourist photographer, to take a picture, and he's constantly posing them and putting them into positions and telling them who they should be, which is a metaphor for how society constricts people in the family setting. And that's what the whole film's about that tension between what people tell you to be and how they puppeteer you and who you actually are. What do you think?
Yeah, I forgot about that opening scene. I was so it's the opening scene is not the one everybody focuses on, so it kind of gets forgotten. But you're right, and he would just like pose those people like they were dolls or something,
That's and that's what the whole film I think is about, is because there's that tension of what the expectation of what a family dynamic should be, and once the main protagonist, the Swedish guy who looks like Stephen Dorff. Sorry, thinking about fjords, thinking about Sweden. The Swedish
No,
dwarf.
I thought he looked like Mark Wahlberg.
He kind of looked like Mark Wahlberg too. Anyway,
Yeah.
your eyeball just fell out. 1 second. So there's this dynamic about external pressures versus who you actually are, and that's the whole tension of the film. Is this constant twisting torches, pulling back and forth for the Swedish dwarf character until finally, towards the end, he finally just snaps and he has to confront who he is because the truth must out. The truth always outs. And a lot of the tension that comes into finally pushing him to the edge is his wife wants him to confess that he ran away even though he constantly refuses to. So she traps him with a captive audience of friends on 2 occasions and slowly, painfully recounts the whole situation. And he just sits there like a dumb rock while he then just denies it, even though it's on his iPhone. It's on his iPhone. Even the iPhone tells the truth.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like he's trapped, but he doesn't really want to admit it. And then she accuses him at one point of having false emotions and crying, and he doesn't mean it. She really doesn't trust him anymore.
But when he does, he finally breaks down like a crying Swedish baby. She just withdraws then too. It's a no-win situation. And finally, the children come out of the woodwork and they're piling on pops and they're saying, "Mom, just lay down with them. Mom, just lay down." And she doesn't want to because the kids But finally, the endings feels a little contrived to me after a whole hour or so of all this painful twisting of the patriarchal narrative. But to make a long story short, I think the movie is basically about the breakdown of the nuclear family, or at least that's what I thought it was about, until the final tacked-on scene when he just rescues her out of the blanketing white fog up on the Swedish Alps. Yeah. And that's why the ending was not entirely satisfying. Although I don't know if the director was trying to emphasize how unsatisfying it was, which is a weird choice, but the thing is, it's a European film, so there are always weird choices. But the last shot is Swedish dwarf just walking down the street looking like the Marlboro Man with a cigarette hanging out of his mouth, and he's later at the back. At least he's framed in the center, and there's a bunch of people walking after him. It's a very beautiful shot like the rest of the film, and they feel like a tribe, but it's not very satisfying narratively, so maybe that's the point, is that the image does not match the reality, which is what the whole film's about, and it's very...
Yeah, there's like several scenes like that where they just have these contrived scenes. Like there's this one weird scene where he and the Thor-looking dude with the red beard are sitting around drinking some beer, and these girls come over and tell them how great they are. And there's this like disco songs playing about, "Oh, I love you," blah, blah, blah. And you're just like, he's showing you how phony everything is. Like people just act weird and they listen to music and they get float and they go, "Oh, I'm drinking beer and like babes love me." And that was this guy who's married.
How dependent he is on the opinions on other people, because they swell up with pride when they're told the most handsome man at the lodge by those blonde babes, but then they come back half a minute later and tell, "Oh, sorry, we were pointing at somebody else. It was our mistake. And we felt compelled to just tell you that for whatever reason. Like, that was necessary." But the point is that it shows just how quickly they deflate and how externally defined they are.
Yeah, especially with that music playing and those guys. It's like set up like a commercial. Like you said, like...
It was a Budweiser commercial.
Right, and at the end, he's like walking around like a cigarette, and he tells his kid he's going to be a smoker now. And it's all silly. I mean, you're just like, is this all we have at the end of the world is to hang on to? Is weird, non-meaningful cliches from advertising?
Exactly. It shows how shallow the whole ideas are of what a family is supposed to be, and he pulls us back and doesn't really tell us what's next, which is that good? I don't know.
It's terrible.
But it's a pretty good movie regardless. Especially, it's a great movie up till the end, so... I
don't know if I'd say it's great, because I think you're overselling it, because I mean, it's...
Well, I think it really deals with important issues. The execution, it's beautifully shot, and it's well acted, and it does drag a little bit, but still, there's so much craftsmanship taken in.
It's really well acted, especially like the wife. I think she did a really terrific job, because she's like really showing the emotion of being in that situation. The feeling that her husband is just like not reliable, you know? And she's
it's funny how dependent she is on him defining the situation. There's a couple of examples where that happens in the film, and it's like she herself doesn't know what to do now that he's not this point of reference for her because of his failure in the face of force majeure.
We always feel like a nice Swedish family sitting on a balcony looking at the Alps, or not the Swedish mountains, can't be harmed by evil
That's
events.
right. Even the Swedish can be harmed. No one is safe. No one. Not even
Yeah.
beautiful Swedish people
Yeah, yeah.
in movies.
In movies, yeah, but it's just yeah, what a strange movie. But I like the guy. I think I wouldn't be surprised if the director was trained in like advertising because he really had an eye for that kind of shot, like a magazine shot or something. It just seemed everything seemed contrived, but I think that was the point.
That's right.
Yeah, I can see it really you really liked it because of the way it looked. Yeah.
Not just that, and because it dealt with very important themes about the family code cracking up in the face of 21st century pressures.
Yeah, except it copped out, like you said at the end, so it didn't deal with that issue at all. I don't know what it was doing. I don't know if it knew. Like, was there pressure from a studio saying you have to make it happy at the
No,
end?
Swedish, they don't believe in studios. But I suppose the bus is supposed to be a metaphor for maybe the current way we're going, maybe, and then them walking out is like a return to some more fundamental, nomadic, wandering, humanistic perspective.
And smoking? I mean,
And smoking. So was
I
it just a
do.
contrived image at the end? I don't know.
No, I kind of think if it was, I just think it didn't work. But I mean,
But
yeah, it didn't
Still,
work. But
just go see it,
Yeah,
just
go
because it
see
brings
it,
up
yeah.
these issues regardless. Oh yeah, there's a lot of peeing in this movie.
Yeah.
Word to the wise. I think it has
that
to do
bothers
about
you, yeah.
the truth must out. Well, that's how it goes. There's nothing more truthful than you gotta
Peeing all the time.
the force majeure of your own bladder.
And on that positive note, have a great
Well, there's this
day.
one heartbreaking scene where the mother she's peeing out in the snow and she sees her family at a distance. It's just like she could see what life would be like without them, and she can see how it's all fragile and about to fall apart, and it's very poignantly shows the whole thematics of the film. All right, I'm done. I gotta pee. Later.
Bye. Go for it. Okay.
Okay, I'm peeing now.
Oh, stop. Stop it.